She noticed it first in the mornings. Her mother would stand by the window, holding a cup of tea, looking outside as if waiting for someone who never arrived. Some days, her mother smiled and said her name clearly. Other days, she paused, searching her face with quiet confusion. She never showed her fear. She only smiled back and said, "It's me, Mama. I'm right here." Their home was small but clean. Photos lined the walls, memories frozen in frames, even as real ones slowly slipped away. Her mother had once been strong and full of stories. Now those stories came in pieces. A sentence here, a name there, sometimes mixed, sometimes repeated. The doctors spoke gently. They said it was a difficult moment. They said to be patient. They said love mattered more than answers. She held on to that. Every day after work, she walked her mother to the small garden near their street. It was quiet, green, peaceful. Her mother liked the flowers. Even when she forgot their names, she liked their colors. One afternoon, her mother stopped walking. She looked tired, not weak, just tired in a way that came from thinking too hard. Her mother whispered, "Did I forget something again?" She knelt beside her and took her hands. "No, Mama, you did nothing wrong." Her mother looked relieved, then embarrassed. "I don't want to be a problem," she said softly. Her chest tightened. "You are never a problem," she replied. "You are my home." They sat quietly on a bench. That was when the sound came. Not loud, not sudden. A motorcycle slowing down. She looked up, alert but calm. The biker stopped at a distance. He did not stare. He did not speak right away. He removed his helmet and nodded politely. "I can move if I'm in the way," he said. Her mother looked up. Her eyes lit with something familiar. "That sound," her mother said. "It feels like a memory." The biker smiled gently. "I can stay for a minute," he said. "If that's all right." She hesitated, then nodded. He kept his distance, rested his helmet by his side. They talked about small things, the weather, the garden, how flowers grow back every season. Her mother listened closely. She laughed once, a real laugh. It surprised all of them. Before leaving, the biker said, "My name is Daniel." Her mother reached out suddenly. "Daniel," she repeated, as if testing the name. He paused. "Yes," he said softly. That night, her mother slept peacefully. And for the first time in weeks, she felt something she had almost forgotten. Hope. The next morning, her mother woke early. She stood in the kitchen, holding the same cup of tea, but this time she was humming. It was a soft tune, unclear, but steady. She watched quietly from the doorway. "Good morning," she said. Her mother turned and smiled. "You brought me to the garden yesterday," her mother said. "There was a man with a motorcycle." Her breath caught. "Yes," she replied calmly. "Do you remember him?" Her mother nodded slowly. "He was kind," she said. "He listened." That single word stayed with her all day. Later that afternoon, they returned to the garden. Not because they expected anything, but because the place felt lighter now. They walked slowly, step by step. Her mother stopped at the same bench. And then she saw him. Daniel was there again, standing beside his motorcycle, not approaching, not assuming. He waited. Her mother smiled first. "You came back," her mother said. Daniel nodded. "I was passing by," he replied. "I hoped it would be okay to stop." "It is," she said gently. "Please." They sat together again. Daniel spoke carefully. Never too much, never too fast. Her mother shared small memories. A road, a long ride, a feeling of freedom. Some details were unclear, but the feeling was strong. At one point, her mother looked at Daniel and asked, "Do I know you?" The air felt still. Daniel did not rush. "I think you knew me once," he said kindly. "But it's okay if you don't remember." Her mother studied his face. "I feel safe," she said. Her eyes filled with quiet tears. After a moment, Daniel stood. "I don't want to take too much of your time," he said. Her mother reached out. "Will you come again?" she asked. He smiled. "If you want me to," he said. That evening, her mother spoke more than usual. She asked questions. She told stories. Some made sense. Some did not. But she was present. Later, as her mother rested, Daniel stood by the gate. "I need to tell you something," he said softly. She listened. "I have been looking for answers about my past," he continued. "When I heard about your mother, something felt familiar." She did not interrupt. "I do not want anything," he said. "No explanations. No expectations." He paused. "I only want to help if I can." She felt tears rise. "Thank you," she said, "for being gentle." Daniel nodded. "I will follow your lead," he replied. "Always." That night, she sat by her mother's bed. Her mother opened her eyes and said, "He reminds me of someone I loved." She squeezed her hand. "Maybe he is part of your story," she whispered. Her mother smiled. "Then I'm glad he found us," she said. And in that quiet room, she realized something important. Sometimes healing does not arrive with answers. Sometimes it arrives with patience. And sometimes the road brings people back exactly when they are needed. The days that followed felt different. Not easier, but steadier. Her mother began asking for the garden again. Not every hour, just once a day. That alone felt like progress. Daniel came by every few afternoons. Never announced. Never early. He always waited at the gate until she nodded. Sometimes he brought flowers. Simple ones. Bright and calm. Her mother liked to hold them. She would turn them slowly in her hands, studying each petal as if it mattered. And it did. One afternoon, her mother looked at Daniel and said, "You ride far, don't you?" Daniel smiled. "Yes," he replied. "I've been on the road for a long time." "Are you tired?" her mother asked. "Sometimes," he said, "but I like moving forward." She watched her mother listen closely, as if those words reached deeper than memory. That day, her mother spoke about a younger version of herself. A girl who loved open roads. A girl who once made a hard choice. A girl who believed letting go was the kindest thing she could do. Her voice did not shake. Felt honest. She sat quietly beside them, not correcting, not guiding, just allowing the moment to exist. Later, when her mother rested, Daniel stayed back again. "I found some old records," he said calmly. "They connect to your mother." She felt her heart tighten. "I am not here to change her past," he continued, "only to understand mine." She took a slow breath. "What are you hoping for?" she asked. Daniel thought carefully. "Clarity," he said, "and maybe peace." She nodded. That night, her mother woke briefly and asked, "Is Daniel family?" She hesitated, then answered truthfully. "He might be," she said softly. Her mother smiled. "I always wondered," she said, "if the road ever brought something back to me." The next day, they sat together again. Her mother looked at Daniel with clear focus. "You feel familiar," she said. "Not like a stranger." Daniel met her eyes. "I feel the same," he replied. There was no pressure, no claims, just understanding. In that moment, she realized something important. Family was not always about what was remembered. Sometimes it was about what felt right. The garden stayed quiet. The air felt warm. And for the first time in a long while, she believed that what lay ahead could still be meaningful. Not perfect, but meaningful. And that was enough. The change did not happen all at once. It arrived quietly. Her mother began waking with more calm in her eyes. Not clarity, but ease. She no longer asked the same question again and again. She asked new ones. One morning, her mother said, "I think I was brave once." She looked up from the table. "Yes," she replied, "you still are." They returned to the garden later that day. Daniel was already there, standing in the shade, hands relaxed at his sides. Her mother walked toward him on her own, slowly, carefully. "You came again," her mother said. "I promised I would," Daniel replied. She smiled. "You keep your promises," she said. "That matters." They sat together. Daniel spoke about the places he had seen. Wide roads, quiet towns, moments where he felt close to something he could not name. Her mother listened, not confused, not distant, present. Then she said something unexpected. "I think I made a choice once," she said softly. "A choice that hurt, but also protected." Daniel did not respond right away. He nodded. "I believe that," he said. "Some choices are made with love, even when they are hard." She reached out and touched his hand. "Thank you for understanding," she said. Her eyes filled, but she did not turn away. That evening, after her mother rested, Daniel spoke again. "I have something to share," he said. She felt the weight of his words before he spoke them. "I may be connected to your family," he said calmly. "I do not need answers right now." She took a breath. "What do you need?" she asked. "Time," he said, "and honesty when you are ready." She nodded. "That feels fair," she replied. Days passed. Her mother began remembering small things. A song she used to hum, a recipe she once loved, a road she traveled long ago. None of it was perfect, but it was enough. One afternoon, her mother looked at Daniel and said, "I think you came back to remind me who I was." Daniel smiled. "I think you reminded me who I could be," he said. They shared a quiet laugh. In that moment, she saw something change. Not just in her mother, not just in Daniel, in herself. She was no longer afraid of what might come next, because she understood something now. Healing did not mean fixing everything. It meant walking forward with respect, with patience, with kindness, and sometimes, the road brings exactly what the heart has been waiting for. The weeks moved forward with quiet purpose. Not rushed, not heavy, balanced. Her mother began choosing her own clothes again. Simple choices, but choices all the same. One morning, she said, "I want to wear blue today." She smiled and helped her. They walked to the garden later than usual. The light was soft, the air warm. Daniel was there, but this time he was not alone. He had brought a small notebook. "I wrote things down," he said carefully. "Only memories that feel true to me." Her mother tilted her head. "You always were thoughtful," she said. He paused. "Was I?" he asked gently. She nodded. "Yes," she replied. "You listened even back then." She watched Daniel breathe slowly. That was the first time her mother spoke with certainty. Not confusion, not guessing, certainty. They sat together. Daniel shared one page from the notebook. A story about a woman who loved long roads. A woman who believed kindness mattered more than comfort. A woman who made a choice with courage. Her mother closed her eyes. "That sounds like me," she said. Daniel smiled. "It does," he replied. Later that day, her mother asked for tea in the garden. They drank quietly. Then her mother spoke. "I remember letting go," she said softly. "I remember hoping it would lead to something good." Daniel met her eyes. "It did," he said. "It led me back." There were no big reactions, no sudden emotions, just calm acceptance. That night, her mother slept deeply. She sat beside her bed, holding her hand. For the first time in a long while, she did not feel afraid of the future. The next morning, Daniel arrived early. "I have made a decision," he said. She listened. "I want to stay," he continued. "Not to take anything, only to be present." She smiled. "That would mean a lot," she said. Days turned into shared routines. Breakfasts, short walks, quiet conversations. Her mother began remembering faces. Not all, but enough. One afternoon, her mother looked at both of them and said, "I feel proud." "Of what?" she asked. "Of us," her mother replied. Daniel nodded. "I do too," he said. The garden no longer felt like a place of waiting. It felt like a place of becoming. And in that space, she understood the final truth. Life does not always return what is lost, but sometimes it offers something just as meaningful. Connection, respect, and the courage to keep moving forward together. The seasons slowly shifted. Mornings felt brighter. Even when clouds passed, the house stayed warm. Her mother began noticing small details again. The sound of birds, the smell of fresh tea, the way sunlight moved across the wall. One morning, her mother looked at Daniel and said, "You feel like someone who belongs here." Daniel smiled with quiet respect. "I feel that way too," he replied. They did not rush the meaning of those words. They let them settle. Daniel became part of their routine, not as a guest, not as a stranger, as someone steady. He fixed small things around the house, a loose chair leg, a garden gate that never closed right. Her mother watched him closely. "You take care of things," she said. "That tells me who you are." Daniel nodded. "I learned to," he replied, "from people who showed me patience." One afternoon, her mother asked for the old photo box. They sat together on the floor. She picked up each picture slowly. She named some faces, paused at others. Then she stopped. She held one photo longer, a younger version of herself, standing near a road, smiling softly. "That was a hopeful day," her mother said. Daniel leaned closer. "I think that hope stayed alive," he said. "It just took time to return." Her mother reached for his hand. "Thank you for coming back," she said. Later, when they were alone, Daniel spoke quietly. "I do not need to define everything," he said. "I am grateful just to be here." She understood. Sometimes presence mattered more than labels. That evening, her mother surprised them both. She said, "I want us to eat together tomorrow. All of us." Her voice was calm, certain. The next day, they shared a simple meal. Laughter came easily. So did silence. Both felt right. Her mother looked at them and said, "You helped me feel whole again." Her eyes filled, but her smile stayed. Daniel lowered his head slightly. "It has been an honor," he said. That night, as she prepared her mother for bed, her mother whispered, "I am not afraid anymore." She held her hand. "Neither am I," she replied. She stood by the window later, watching Daniel leave on his motorcycle, not as someone passing through, but as someone who would return. And in that quiet moment, she understood the lesson life had been teaching her. Growth does not always come from struggle. Sometimes it comes from kindness that stays, from patience that listens, and from people who choose dignity over answers. The road had brought Daniel to them, but love had asked him to stay, and that made all the difference.